Welcome to Common Core on the Go. Common Core on the Go is the easiest way to keep track of where your students are at in the Common Core standards. It's available in K-8 Math, K-8 English, 912 English, and 912 Math. You can import students into the program. It requires no typing, and it uses the free FileMaker Go app, which can be downloaded from the iTunes Store. In the upper right-hand corner, you have a help button that you can touch, and that will give you directions on how to use Common Core on the go. Touch the little swirl arrow in the upper right hand or left hand corner, and that returns you back to this screen. If you touch the student button, this is where you can enter in your students. You can delete kids, add kids, or you can also import in students. And then again, touch the little swirl arrow, and that takes you back to the opening screen. At this point, then you'll touch continue, and what you'll see here at the top, we can toggle between different standards. So maybe I want to see 7th grade standards, or I want to see 4th grade standards. I can do that. I can also click a teacher name, and that will then sort that list by those teachers. And if I just click here where it says class, that deletes the teacher name, and it makes all my students active. And then over here by grade, I can also pick kids by a grade level. So maybe if I just want to see the 3rd graders, I can do that. And then if I touch grade, that makes that disappear. Here are my different areas underneath math. And if I touch those, I can toggle. Right now I am on OA, which is operations and algebraic thinking. If I touch here to NBT, that takes me to numbers and operations in base 10. So I can just toggle between these different areas that are on here. Now, to rate a student, what I can do is if I just touch any of these blank areas, that will insert in a 2. And over here, these are this is my default area, where I can say a 1 is limited, a 2 is proficient, and 3 is advanced. So when I touch one of those blank areas, it knows what to put in there. So I'm going to say proficient. And again, as I touch the different areas here, it inserts those in. If I touch it again, it'll just toggle between the different. So there's a 3, touch it again, it goes to a 1, touch it again, it goes back to a 2. I can also, if I come back up to my default area, if I say clear, and now I touch one of those, that will clear that out for you. So let's go back and put this at a 2. And also, as I touch a row up here, say I touched where it says 3A, then up above here, this is actually telling me what 3A is. Say if I touch 3B, I can see what 3B is. So it's easy for me to see what those standards are just by touching the number at the top. The next thing that will happen is if the number is red, if I touch it again, then I get a little pop-up box, and it allows me to fill that whole row. So let's say if I know all my kids are proficient in that area, I could either say fill the whole row, or I could say fill just the blank squares in that row. So let's go ahead and just say the whole row, and that will then fill that down. Over here on the left side, I have this little faint greater than sign, and if I touch that, let's change my defaults to 3. And so now I touch that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the empty button, and so it's going to fill in all of the empty rows with a 3, and the one that was a 2 right here remains a 2 in this one. Now once I've finished my results, then I can click on the report button, and here I can get 2 different reports. I can generate a summary list. So let's say I do that, and it'll take a second for that to generate, and I'm going to view that, and now what I get is a printout that's going to show me color code where these kids are at. So I can see my greens and my yellows, and these are the different areas that are on here. I can also email that to myself if I wanted to. And the other report what I'm going to get is this generate standards analysis. Touch that. And again, this may take a second for it to create. And let's go ahead and view that one again. And what this report does is it summarizes all of the content standards, and then it tells me which students were not rated. It will also tell me if any kids were rated. Let's see if I can find an example here. For instance, down here it says advanced, that Erica Banks was advanced, so I can see advanced kids. Down here I have proficient kids. So in each area it's going to give me a nice breakdown on where those kids are at, so I can get a nice quick summary on that. And that's curriculum standards, or I'm sorry, Common Core standards on the go. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.